There we are. Okay, I'm bouncing around. My signal's being weird this morning. I don't know if it's the wind or what. But anyway, hey, I put on makeup for you guys today. Just kidding. I put on makeup for me. But, so I wanted to talk a little bit about what the Whole30 actually is. So in case anyone has the misconception that the Whole30 is like 30 foods, because I actually did at one point think that, it's not. It's 30 days of clean eating. So clean eating is kind of a funny expression because there's really no parameters on what that means, clean eating. But in regards to the Whole30, and I'm totally not an expert on this. Like, I've read a book and I've listened to a book and I know a lot of people who've done it. So this is just my little meager understanding of what it is. But basically, the purpose of the Whole30 is not to diet. It's not to lose weight. The purpose is to do a reset on how you actually function and interact with your food. So oftentimes what we do is we go to food as our comfort. We're stressed, we eat. We're nervous, we eat. We're bored, we eat. And that's not really what food is for. Food is for us to sustain ourselves, and that's really all. So it's kind of a way to help you retrain your brain as to what food is for. And then also, it's a good reminder that we need to be careful about the nutrition that we're putting into our bodies, because a lot of the calories we consume are just empty. And so it's just kind of along that line. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm chopping spinach right now. So I mentioned this the other day. The reason that I decided to do a Whole30 is because I noticed that I've been eating more sugar lately. Even though I typically eat relatively paleo, I've been eating a lot more sugar, and I just wanted to break that cycle. So I decided to do it for the month. I asked my husband if he wanted to join. He conceded, as long as he could have black coffee. And then we just told our kids we were doing an experiment this month, and overall, that's been fine. We did have one small breakdown the other day when we were out of the house, and there was lots of food that we couldn't eat. But other than that, it's been going really well. So basically, when you're doing the Whole30, what you're eating is nutrient-dense, real food. So you're not eating stuff in packages. You're not eating things with ingredients that you can't pronounce. It's basically produce and meat, eggs, fish, and then good healthy fats like avocado and coconut oil and things like that. So the things that you're not eating are dairy, legumes, which includes peanuts, grains, which I don't eat much of anyway, and what am I missing? Oh, sugar. Any forms of sugar outside of fruit. So like even my normal supplement that I take has stevia in it. I'm kind of dying without it, but I'm 17 days in and I think I'm going to be okay. But so again, it's just a reset on what you're used to eating. It kind of helps your body and your brain reset a little bit. So what I'm doing this morning is I'm making breakfast and dinner because, in case you didn't know this, we homeschool and I have like 0 time in the afternoon to make food. So sometimes I think I'm going to have time and then I just don't. So I'm trying to make dinner and breakfast together, and we're actually running late. We usually start school at 9:30, so shh, don't tell my kids. We're not on fall break right now, but since everyone else is, my kids are out flying kites. So they're having fun. If your kids are not flying kites today, you should check out the wind. It's nice. Okay, so right now I'm making sausage. This is the same pork that I talked about yesterday. Same seasonings. It's garlic powder, salt, pepper, a little bit of cayenne, and sage. And then I'm going to throw in the spinach. This is like, I don't know. It's a third of this box. So whatever that is, like 6 ounces or something of chopped spinach. If you think your kids won't eat veggies, you can throw them in other stuff. We put lots of veggies in our food, but actually If you think your kids won't eat veggies, I don't really know what that means. You just serve it and eventually they eat it. So just start serving it. Anyway, so I'm going to throw that in our sausage and mix that up in a second. Otherwise I'll have it all over my hands. And then for dinner, we're going to have chicken and carrots, and we might have broccoli, or I might make sweet potatoes. I'm not really sure. Anyway, so I'm just crock-potting dinner, and I'm doing 2 packages of baby carrots. So that's 2 pounds of baby carrots. And actually, we usually eat more than 2 pounds these days, but this is really all that fits in my crock pot. Speaking of crock pots, I have 3 broken crock pots. They're all broken in a different way. I want to know if any of you have a fully functional crock pot, because so far I haven't actually met anyone. So if you have a fully functional crock pot, I want to hear from you. So I have one crock pot that is missing the dial. That's the one I'm using today. So basically I keep it on low, and I can like turn it with a little, this is real life. Someone's crying. I can turn it with a little tool, or I can try to break my finger off. My husband can actually turn it without that. But anyway, I just leave it on low, and then I plug it in when I want to use it. My other crock pot, my bigger one, is missing the lid on the handle, which makes it kind of hard to open. And the other one is missing one of the like side handles to pick it up. So that's what's going on my Christmas list this year, is a functional crock pot. Maybe slightly bigger also. So anyway, I wish that my meat company like paid me for referrals. I don't think they do, but I keep plugging them. So this is of course chicken from Seven Sons, and I'm just gonna throw it on top of the carrots. My husband tells me I always put the chicken on upside down, and every time I can't remember which way it goes. I don't really care though. So I'm throwing that on top of the carrots. I do not bother rinsing my chicken because I'm lazy. Yeah, so see, crock pots don't work. Excuse me. So anyway, and then I'm just gonna oil that a little bit. Here you are. I'm gonna oil the chicken and throw some salt and pepper and thyme on it. Lots of thyme. And that's dinner. And, ooh, and minced onion, because I'm not going to cry on camera today like I did yesterday, and we did the whole onion scenario. Oh, and garlic powder. I'm just going to put all this stuff on it. No, I'm not going to do that crying thing like I did yesterday. So actually, speaking of that, we didn't talk about this, but this sometimes works for me. I don't know why it works, so don't ask me that. But sometimes if you do a drop of thieves oil in a little bowl of water next to where you're cutting the onions, it doesn't make you cry. Like, I've had like 50-50 success with this. I don't know if it has to do with the freshness of the onions or what, but I find it intriguing. I don't know how it works. So this is the best because no one expects me to be looking at the camera, and I can still get my stuff done. Yeah, my kids are around. They're flying kites mostly. Someone was crying a moment ago. Some of them are in here now being celebrities. Yesterday when I got off of here, my daughter was like, I was on Facebook. So yeah. Anyway, so this has been fun for me. So thanks for entertaining me. Yeah, I'm not. You know what's funny? Like when we first got married, my mother-in-law had this casserole that she made. She probably still makes it. I don't know. Anyway, and I loved it. And I was like, oh, can you give me the recipe? No. But, you know, I was like 20 and I needed a recipe. And so if you still use recipes, that's totally fine. I just, I'm kind of lazy and I've just gotten used to cooking, and so I don't really need them anymore, which is nice. So, anyway. All right, so there's basically dinner. Like we'll throw in some broccoli or something, but 2 pounds of carrots and a chicken. A chicken, by the way, barely feeds our family these days. Oh, water. Do you know what? I forgot to water my chicken. Water my chicken. Like it's a garden. I forgot to add water to my crock pot like 3 times in a row lately. But as it turns out, it's usually okay. So that's good. So I'm putting in like 2 cups of water for no reason. at all, except that this is a 2-cup measuring cup. So anyway, we were talking about the Whole30. So in regards to getting in good nutrients, I'll have to smash the lid on later because it's like just slightly too tall. In regards to getting in good nutrients, we've just been adding extra vegetables to like everything that we eat. So like I mentioned that I'm throwing the spinach into the sausage, which is totally fine. If you're gonna do this and mix the sausage, take your rings off because ew. Anyway, so if you're gonna, we're mixing the spinach into the sausage. Sometimes we just throw it all in and like cook it in with the eggs and stuff, which is fine too. I also recommend setting your meat out like half an hour in advance because it is so cold otherwise. So anyway, we're going to throw this all together, and I'm going to make patties out of this, and we'll throw the extra patties in the fridge. But the vegetable intake has been an interesting change for us. Like I felt like we ate relatively healthy, and I think we do typically, but I ran across a grocery list, like just a normal kind of weekly grocery list from a couple months ago, and like half of the food is stuff that we're not eating on the Whole30. So that was interesting to see. I mean, it was just like normal stuff, you know, like bread and pretzels, and half of our family is gluten-free, so then there's double of that, like gluten-free bread and the regular bread and all of that. But it was interesting to see how many things we actually were not buying, and then all the dairy, so milk and sour cream and cheese and yogurt. I'm actually curious to see at the end of the month what the difference in our grocery budget really is, because I feel like I'm shopping all the time, but my trips are not as costly because I'm not buying as much. It's mostly produce. So it is you. Hey baby. So anyway, I'm mostly done with the sausage, I hope. Yesterday I did the sausage and apparently I got like a piece of cayenne that had not a section. Anyway, there's a lot of cayenne in one of my bites and it was pretty spicy. So I'm trying to mix that all up. And so for breakfast today, we're just doing the sausage with the spinach in it. And then we'll make some eggs. My kids like over medium eggs. I like scrambled eggs. We'll do some eggs, and then I have a cantaloupe here that I'm gonna chop. And so that's breakfast, and then dinner's done. I don't know what we're having for lunch. You know, it's funny. Everything I read about the Whole30 was like, make sure that you plan all your meals ahead, which is good, and you should totally do it. But I'm a hypocrite. No, I don't do it. I go through phases where I plan my meals, but sometimes I'm just really bad about it. And so I have not been good about it lately. So anyway, so I'm going to throw these sausages on before my hands get
Are they going to be
not meaty. Are they what?
Going to be meatballs?
They're going to be like not meatballs, but they'll be, you know, sausage patties.
Daddy,
Can you turn the stove on for me, please?
To what?
Like 4? No, the one with the pan on it. Nope, that one. Yep.
This way?
No, the other way. Push it in. Okay, no, back, back. Okay, turn it off. Turn it all the way off. Just when I think my kids know how to use the stove. So you turn it slightly and it'll click, and then turn it, keep turning. So turn. Okay, turn till it clicks. Okay, now turn some more. Oh, okay, keep going. There you go. Perfect, thank you. Just when I think my kids know how to use the stove. Anyway, I know my older kids know how to use it. I just thought I had taught her how to turn it on. It's okay, I taught her now. The end. Also, speaking of kids, I know that, like my kids are pretty open to eating whatever, most of them. But if your kids are not, supposedly, having them help you make food is supposed to be like they enjoy eating it more. I don't know. My kids just help me cook because I don't have time to do all that. But definitely teach your kids to cook. It's so helpful. If you're wondering what these sausage patties look like, let me show you one with my gross hands. Don't look at my gross hands. So yeah, it's not like the spinach disappeared or anything, but it's there. And it's gonna make it delicious. And actually spinach has like a little bit of water in it, so I feel like it keeps it a little moist too. So anyway, so that's basically just how we do our Whole30 breakfasts and dinners. I do the crock pot quite a bit. We do roasts or chicken or mostly roast and chicken in the crock pot, and then we'll do soup or something in the oven. Usually we do a meat at breakfast and dinner and sometimes at lunch. Just kind of depends. But it's just real food and it's really not hard. But I will say that I'm at the store all the time. And I was at the store last night. And I'll probably be there again in like 2 days. How many people are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know how many people are in my family. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you. When my hands are done being spinachy, then I will turn you off and I'll finish making these patties. And then I'm just going to throw the extra patties in the fridge so we'll have them for the next couple days. Also, I was going to read this, but I forgot to get my book out here. I mentioned recently kind of how important it is that you buy your meat from a local organic farmer. And I read this article this morning. Really disturbing. I'll have to maybe share it later. It was really gross. I'm gonna need you guys to move so I can get to the sink, please. Thank you. What? Does it smell funny? Feel funny? Yeah, it feels gross. Hi, kids. I do actually have boys, but they're more interested in kites. Sorry, like a million hand washing. Alright. Well, that's all for the morning. We have dinner going, and we have breakfast going, and we'll start school eventually. So, have a great day, you guys. Get outside before it rains. It's supposed to rain. Please take her out if she's going to scream. It's supposed to rain later. So, enjoy the day, and we'll see you guys later.